Hup.
Hey, Brandon.
What's
Welcome
happening?
back.
Thanks, man.
I know you had said originally you were maybe going to take the rest of this year off, right? So when did plans change for that?
I think it's very easy, man. Like, I'm a competitor, you know? So when I decide to take a little break of competition, everything was fine in that moment. But after that, like three three weeks after, I'm starting to think again, like, damn, I want to fight. I want to fight, I want to fight. But then is when, my wife, my family helped me a lot with that. Like, hey, my wife and my coach is like, hey, you have to take a break. You have to take it serious. You have to rest. You be with your family, with your daughters. Make more nice moments with them first. So I have to calm myself. I had this fight with myself in my mind to take this break serious. But yeah, man, like after I decided to take the break, I was like, damn, I want to fight right now. That's the thing. But no, I think I made the best choice.
Yeah, so you went into it, I think, with some certain things you want to accomplish. Now that we're here again on a fight week, do you feel like you did everything you needed to during this break?
Man, I mean, my energy right now feels amazing. I feel so hyped, and it's crazy how my last two training camps I don't feel like this. I feel all the stress, all the responsibilities. In some point, that exploded in my mind, and I wasn't really enjoying this kind of moments. And now I feel like before, when you start your career at the UFC and you have all the media talking with you and everything. Now it's like before. So yeah, man, I try to just recover my body, recover my mind, heal some injuries were like bother me in my last training camps, and now I feel perfect.
Yeah, like when you came back for the second stint after being cut and everything, that was like 2.0 Brandon Moreno. Is this the 3.0 now?
Man, that's the thing. That's the goal. Obviously, I have to back up all my words, but that's my goal to show to the world. And it's crazy. And I've been talking with my coaches about this. Like, I feel very frustrated because even when I lost my last two fights, I feel in my prime. I feel very strong. I feel stronger. I feel with better technique. I feel with more knowledge about the fight game. Just the result is not what I've been having in my last couple of fights. So now my goal is to show that to the world. To back up all my words, to back up all my hard work at the gym, and that's it.
Did you always feel like Amir Albazi was the right opponent that you would come back to? Obviously, you guys were scheduled to fight before.
Man, I just wanna fight against another fighter. I've been in a lot of rematches. And a lot of fights. Two fights with Roybal, two fights with Cara France, three fights with Pantoja, four with Figueiredo. So a lot of rematches. So I just wanted to fight with other person, make another different game plan, and that's it. And everything was easier for me because all the game plan we did it in when we started the year, because we were supposed to fight in Mexico City. So now we cut some time making all the game plan because it was already done, and we went just to the hard work.
How do you approach that mentally? Because you were so used to fighting these same guys. I'm sure somewhere in your mind you know what works and what doesn't, and it's like almost ingrained into you, and now you're fighting more of the unknown. Does that take a mental adjustment at all?
I don't know, man. Hopefully. I mean, I have to make a nice performance this weekend, but the only thing I can say to you, I feel amazing. I feel ready. I feel fresh. I feel very motivated, and it's crazy. I mean, I never depend of motivation. I try to depend more about my discipline and be focused in all my goals in the future. But man, I feel really good.
A couple rule changes will be coming into place with this card, right? The 12 to 6 elbows and the definition of the grounded opponent. Is that something you took into consideration and will be in the back of your mind at all during the fight?
Yeah, I mean, this. I never been that guy who plays a lot with for example, the rule to touch the ground and don't touch the ground. I never play too much with those kind of rules in the gym, in my fights, So that doesn't bother me. Talking about the defense part. In the offense part, Amir is a good grappler, and if he gives me the opportunity to hit him in the face with a knee, I will. If not, it is what it is. I mean, it's interesting. If I have the opportunity to throw the elbow, to throw the knee on the ground, I will.
What's the next rule you'd like to see changed in MMA?
The next rule, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Brandon, right here. When you talk about coming back from that time off, how difficult was it for you not to come back and try and be part of Noche UFC this year?
Man, they offered me the fight. Actually, I mean, they offered me the fight against Amir at Noche UFC. And for sure, it was 100% very hard for me. Because, like I said before, I'm a competitor. And after I decided to take the break, 1 month after, I was talking with myself like, damn, I want to fight and I want to be on the grind again. But there's when I started this war in the battlefield on my mind, and to calm myself, right? But yeah, it was very hard. Watch all the productions, watch all the nice environment of Noche UFC. What's happening that night was incredible. But at the same time, I was talking with my wife about it, like, I had the opportunity to enjoy all the show. When you're in the fight, you're like so nervous. You're in the locker room, warming up with your coaches and your family. I mean, my wife, she's all stressful because I'm gonna have a fight soon. So I don't know. I had the opportunity to enjoy all the show. So that's it.
Dana says that's going to be a one-off at the Spear, but do you hope they'll do more like that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he can do something with less production, with less money about it, and because the Sphere is a nice environment. I like the lights and everything. So let's see if that happens again.
We were talking with Amir earlier, and he went over kind of the struggles that he's gone through in the past year and a half. And, he had an ablation for his SVT. It's a heart condition. And then he had trouble with his arm, and he found out, it was possible that he could have been paralyzed and he had to have emergency surgery. Does that speak to kind of his mental fortitude, the mental strength that he has?
I mean, he's a fighter, and we all know he's a fighter. He's a top guy. And I think every one of us pass for different situations. I can talk with by myself about all the different struggles I passed before, but it is what it is. I mean, talks really good about Amir, and I have to be aware about it because I know he's gonna be very motivated and he's gonna be healthy. He's gonna be ready to fight.
And he's obviously thinking about a title shot with a win. Do you think if you get the win here, you can step in and face the winner of Pantoja and Kai Asakura?
Yes, or they can make their rematch against Kai France. The last fight between them was very close. Personally, I think Kai France won that battle. But let's see what happens. But for sure, if he get a victory against a former champion, his name is going to be very hard in the conversation for the title next.
What are your thoughts on Kai Asakura coming in and getting an immediate title shot? Because outside of when the UFC has purchased Strikeforce or Pride, we really haven't seen that often.
Man, I think it's positive. I think it's a positive thing for the division because I don't know. I think all the division is strong. Like we have younger fighters, a new generation, very strong with good records, with amazing performances. But at the same time, at the top 5, everything looks like very stuck. Like Brandon Moreno having rematches with everybody, and that's it. I think it's very fresh for the flyweight division to bring a guy like Kai Asakura, a good striker who can bring a different perspective of the roster, of the top 5, and it's gonna be a interesting match between Pantoja and him.
Last one for me. Who do you see coming out ahead in that match?
Oof, man. I mean, I can't go against Pantoja. He beat me 3 times in the past, and that is what it is. He's very tough, and it's weird. He has a weird survival ability, because I remember my last fight against him. At the end of the 4th round, I saw his face. He was like done, and he find a way to take my back and stay there. You know, I mean, the fifth round was kind of boring, but he won. You know, with Roybal the same. Like the fourth, fifth round, he started to get a lot of punches in his face, and he survived. The same with Ersex in some points of the fight. So that's a real ability, man. That's a real ability. But let's see what happened with Kai Asakura, because UFC is on a whole different level.
Thank you.
Of course.
Brendan, you mentioned dealing with a bunch of pressure, especially going into the last couple of fights. This will be your 8th straight main event or championship fight in the UFC, 9th fight since, you know, the start of things with Brandon Royval. Can you just explain a little bit what some of that pressure is? And it's not a side we hear very much of from athletes. So can you just talk a little bit about what some of that pressure is and how it impacts just preparation and day-to-day and even the love of the sport for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, thinking a little bit about it, like, the fierce Mexican-born champion, you know, the guy from a country, a huge country, who's putting a lot of support on a person. That person is me. With that being said, like, the responsibilities it's not just the training camp, it's not just the fights. Now it's about the media, the responsibilities, the travels, you know, the media tours and all that stuff. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a pussy. Maybe I'm a weak person. You know, maybe other fighter can say like, "Hey, that's nothing. Shut the fuck up and keep going." Maybe that's true. But talking about myself, I mean, that's something huge, you know. And I've been on the grind like 2-3 years in a row, like fighting in amazing spot, being around the world, you know, doing a lot of work, a lot of media. So I'm a human being, man. I'm a human being, and at some point that exploded in my mind. That's why I decided to take that break, you know, just to be with my family, to be in my home for a few months, explore new hobbies I love to do, and that's it.
What were the new hobbies that you've taken? I mean, we know some of the hobbies that you already have, but you mentioned yesterday that you're not building too many Legos. What are the new hobbies that you've taken up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a collector, so I'm starting to collect Pokemon cards. I mean, I have a lot. I have officially 14 months collecting Pokemon cards, and my collection, I think, is very nice now. And I start to learn and read more about coffee. I love coffee, so I start to read about the quality of the beans, the grind, and all that stuff. I start to do mountain bike. You know, that sport is very cool. It's dangerous because if you fail hard. But it's very cool. It's a really nice exercise. And that's it, man. Just be with my family, enjoy around my loved ones, and that's it.
A favorite coffee that you've found yet?
I mean, I'm living in Las Vegas. I know, where are you from? You're from Las Vegas?
No, I'm from Vancouver.
Okay, I mean, I have a few coffee roasters there where the coffee is really good, but I love to buy the grain, the bean, and grind it in my home for sure. That is the best way to take coffee.
100%. Connect with Danny Ige. He's got a nice setup.
Oh, he told me he's a coffee lover as well.
Brandon, obviously your last fight with Royval, very close fight, split decision. How do you reflect back on that fight right now? Did something happen in that fight that prompted the decision for you to want to take a long layoff?
Oof, like I think it was the break point. That's it. Like I said this before, like I don't want to put like any excuse. I think Brandon Royval is doing an amazing job right now. Like he's a tough guy, you know, with amazing rhythm in the middle of the fight. But I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like that night was that kind of night when your mind is not there. And that's very frustrating, you know, because I did all the training camp, the elevation. I leave my family for 2 months. Really nice sparring sessions, everything. And then in the fight, like, I wasn't there. Like, my body was there throwing punches, you know. But my mind, like, I don't know, man. That's very frustrating for me.
Yeah, because, you know, we've seen you there fight long fights with high-level opposition, and you always have that ability to push in the championship rounds, and maybe that wasn't there against Royval. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, man. You know, and again, no excuses. I mean that I don't want to come here and start to put a lot of excuses. Just and I think it's very normal between fighters. Maybe you can ask other fighters like, hey, you have fights where you feel like your mind wasn't there. Like they're gonna say yes, and that night was one of mine.
Are you preparing yourself coming in on Saturday night for another 5-round war?
Yeah, always. I mean, I respect every one of my opponents, and I'm expecting the best of them. You know, I'm expecting the best from Amir Albazi. I know what I say, like he's very motivated. He's ready to win. He wants the title, and man, I feel ready for that. Just my energy feels different now, man.
Yesterday, I seen you put hands for the first time on your custom fight shorts.
Ooh,
I was
beautiful.
wondering if you could talk about the meaning behind the design.
I think at the end you are the judges and you are the real judges here. But man, I love those ones. You know,
Look pretty cool.
are very cool. Maybe at the top 3 of all the custom shorts UFC make in the past. I mean, you are the judge.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys.
One more right here. You know, Brandon, there was a time not too long ago where the flyweight division looked like it was going to be out of the UFC. I mean, you left for one fight, a couple of fighters left, and there were talks of cutting the division. And now we're coming off just a couple of weeks ago where people were calling Royval and Tatsuro Taira one of the best fights of the year. And the flyweight division is red hot. So what does it mean to you to have been part of that division's resurgence?
I mean, we have to say thanks to, I don't know, like destiny, life, whatever. Like we have the opportunity to keep the division. I mean, obviously UFC and maybe Cejudo, he had a nice performance against TJ Dillashaw. You know, just to UFC to keep the division and give us another opportunity to show all of that you are saying right now. Like we're amazing athletes. I really believe is talking about the skills. From the bottom of my heart, I believe this is the best division ever, you know? Obviously, I don't know if it's because we are small or something, but the people sometimes don't talk too much about it. But talking about, I mean, every fighter at the roster has an amazing wrestling, has an amazing jiu-jitsu, amazing striking. They're so complete in his game. Like, I mean, the flyweight division is here to stay. I believe that. And right now it's fireworks. It's on fire. And all the new generation, all the new guys are coming. The top 5, what I said before, it's a little bit stuck, but the talent is incredible, right? So, man, we're the best.
Thank you.
Of course. Us.